Welcome to Film on Tape, a free audio library for creatives in film and television. My name is Misha Calvert, and I've worked as an actor, writer, director, and producer for many decades. I had so many questions when I was first getting started in New York, and I just wanted fast, free answers. That is what this library is for. The work that you do as a creative is so important. I really hope that this library is going to help get your work out there. Film on Tape is sponsored by Vermilion, a coaching and educational company for creatives. You can learn more at clubvermilion.com. This week, we're going to talk about networking, and this is going to apply to every single person who has ever wanted to network in their lives. Now, that word has kind of got a lot of negativity around it. Networking. People think of it as like laundry or like just icky kind of like homework. Like it's just one of those words that has such a heavy kind of chore feeling to it. And it really doesn't have to be that way. So I'm going to call it networking, but maybe by the end of this episode, we're going to figure out a different word for it that makes us feel better and happier and more excited when we think about the process, really, of getting to know people who you haven't met before. So I get a lot of actors asking about networking, but also just all sorts of people. And I myself have been venturing into new networking habitats, brand new, like beginner mind, I'm talking, moving into tech and AI and even some venture capital spaces recently as I move more to corporate coaching and executive coaching. So I am right there with you figuring out how to best network. And I'm going to give you 4 tips that I have been using that I think anyone can use. And they're not the tips that you're going to hear anywhere else. They're kind of out of pocket, like a little bit edgy. So they're also fun. So I'm just going to go through them 1 through 4. And if you use these in a networking event and they work, I want you to let me know. Please let me know if you've tested this and it works. DM me at my Instagram at Misha Calvert or drop me an email, misha@clubvermilion.com. Let me know if these 4 strategies made it easier for you to network. All right, so the first thing that I can say is the easiest way to talk to strangers at an event is to remember the purpose of the event. So remember the assignment. So some examples. Let's say you're at a screening and there's like a little mingling before and after the screening of a film or a pilot or something. Well, the assignment is we're all there to watch something together and ideally have a response to it. So easiest thing to do is to talk about the thing that you're about to see. And it's something that probably most people are going to be extremely open to. And, it's like you don't need to say any more. It's like, let's talk about the thing we just watched. What did you like? And, if you're at a screening, it's really best not to trash talk what you've just seen because you never know if like the executive producer is right behind you or the star is right behind you. So try to keep it positive and keep it, interesting and honest and all that, but just, be careful with that one. Another example is if you're at a panel, like for instance, a panel on AI. Well, the assignment is you go to the panel and you listen to them talk. So afterwards, and I was just at an AI panel about 2 weeks ago, afterwards, the obvious choice is you're going to be talking about AI with the people that are drinking their, whatever, $15 drinks. So you can talk about the thing that brought you all there together. And they can and sometimes even should be really dumb questions like, what did you think of the panel? Wow, that was a really interesting film. How did it make you feel? Could you hear the moderator? Because I couldn't hear them. They can be really dumb questions, but those are called icebreakers. Don't underestimate the value of a dumb icebreaker. And when I do them, I'll even kind of acknowledge to myself, like, oh, this is about to be a really dumb question. Here we go. And people love these icebreakers. They just love, like, any excuse to kind of not feel awkward. So if you think of yourself as, like, your job is to make people not feel awkward, then follow the assignment and just go for that. I am so excited to tell you that I'm launching a brand new slate of classes that are incredibly helpful on my website. Some of the classes include on-camera acting technique and how to self-produce your own film, actor self-care, which is something that nobody talks about, and how to write a feature film in 10 days, which I'm going to teach you how I did it and how you can do it too. And believe me when I say I poured my heart into these courses. Go to clubvermillion.com. I am so excited about this website. I can't wait to work with you. Okay, so the second strategy that is maybe a little bit harder to wrap your head around, but is incredibly important and incredibly effective, is to have curiosity about the people in the room. And not just like the people that look like they might be fancy or, attractive or like where the eye naturally goes, but literally have curiosity for everyone at the event. And what that's going to do is that's going to put the focus on them. It's going to take it off of you like critiquing and judging yourself and feeling so awkward in your own skin. It's going to put the emphasis and the attention on other people, and it's going to be positive attention. So automatically your job is easier because you're not self-criticizing. So all the energy that was going towards being critical towards yourself is now on other people. And, try not to move into the judgment space because that's really easy. It's negative. It zaps the energy out of the room. Try and stay in the positive curiosity of it. And also remember, like, you literally don't know who someone is. Like, these are strangers. So someone could look like there was a clip of Selena Gomez and her fiance Benny Blanco at the red carpet thing, and he looked so much like a bum that security tried to kick him out of the event. And it was like her event. So you just never know based on how someone looks, who they are, what they're doing there. They could be like running the event or the one person that you wanted to talk to. So stay in your curiosity and let your curiosity guide you to striking up conversations with anyone, everyone. I mean, could you actually talk to everyone in the room? I know some events it's like hundreds of people. It's impossible. But at some places, can you make that your goal? You just check off, set like a little game to yourself of, I'm just curious about all 15 people in this room. Can I make a little connection to each of them? All right. Number 3 strategy. This is where it starts to get interesting. So the third strategy is seduction. And that doesn't mean sexually, obviously. We're speaking mostly about work events in this context, although it does work at the bar as well. Really what it is it's like a sales tactic, and it is incredibly effective. And seduction, it doesn't have to be romantic. It can be just, I want this person to open up and trust me, and I want to make them feel special. And that's the exchange. Because most people are closed, right? Like, you go to an event and most people are kind of a little bit closed or a little bit like no new friends or just like shut off energy, a little shy maybe. I mean, maybe not at film parties, but you know what I'm saying. There's a barrier. And if you can employ seduction, automatically it boosts your status because you're signaling to yourself, I got this and I'm not awkward and I have nothing to lose, to the point where I can actually be generous and make someone else feel special. So that kind of liquid, getting somebody to really want to talk to you, and there can be elements of wit and empathy, and I don't want to call this manipulation, although it might start to sound like that. Remember, you're trying to make a connection, and the connection is for both of your benefits. You're really just trying to get close to somebody. So seduction would be my third strategy. And who does this really good is Dacre Montgomery from Stranger Things. There's all these videos on the internet where he just, he'll have his girlfriend, right next to him, and the interviewer on the red carpet, who he's probably never seen before and will never see again, she's asking him questions, this stranger, and he looks like he is in love with her. Or on interview shows, like, you're like, is he in love with everyone he meets? Because his eyes are just so taking in the other person, and his smile, and you can tell, like, he's not thinking at all about himself. He has no shred of insecurity. He's just like falling into the eyes of whoever he's talking to. And it's extremely compelling. And I think it doesn't have to be, again, romantic or sexual in any way. It can be just, oh my God, I want to connect with this person. The fourth strategy and the final strategy is charm. And the charm really wraps all of these together. So we have a purpose for being here, the assignment. We have our curiosity about the other person. And we're able to use elements of seduction to forge a connection with them. The charm brings it all together, and it comes back around to the assignment, because all that is well and good if you connect with somebody and, you have a great conversation. But like, let's say that in order to kind of close the deal, quote unquote, with the conversation, take it to the next level, you need their contact info. Well, if you just leave it there without getting the contact info, then it was a nice conversation, but like, what do you have to show for it? So the charm allows you to slide in at the end and be like, hey, would you mind if I follow you on Instagram, or can I drop you an email? I'd love to send you that link that I told you about. Or are you on LinkedIn? Whatever can get you to follow up with them. And that's where you take it to the next phase. It's really, really important. The follow-up is key with these professional networking environments. And, on one level, transactionally, everything that happens at the event, the purpose of that is leading up to that follow-up. But it's important to not over-focus on the result of that conversation. So it's like you got to forget that you have an agenda when you're talking to somebody, and then at the very end, remember, oh, right, I need to get their contact info so I can actually have something to show for this conversation. So 2 quick little tidbits to add on to this. If confidence is a problem, you can do 2 things. You can double the amount of time it takes you to get ready. So basically, if it takes you normally 30 minutes to get ready, try getting ready for an hour before you go to this event. And then the second thing, time-tested, classic, bring a wing man or woman. Just a wing to the event with you, and let them wing for you and you wing for them. And talk each other up. It's often very much easier to talk someone else up than to talk yourself up. Not if you're me, because I'm a psycho, but having that wing person there can be really helpful and reassuring. Just make sure you don't only talk to them. In fact, you could set a time limit on how long you talk to each other before you have to go talk to other people. So I really hope that these networking strategies work for you. Let's see, do we have another word for networking? Making friends? Yeah, let's call it making friends. There's no such thing as a stranger, only a friend you haven't met. And on that note, I'm going to a party tonight, and I'm going to be using all of these tactics. So let's see how many new friends I can make. I will see you next week. Thank you so much for listening to Film on Tape. If you like the way that I approach the industry, check out our other classes, consulting, and mentorship at clubvermilion.com. Vermilion is a home for artists and those looking to expand creatively. Whether you're an actor, a film professional, an entrepreneur, or a CEO, we'll help you find your voice and hone your skills to thrive in any market at any scale. You can schedule a free phone consultation at clubvermilion.com.